just opened TikTok to like 20,000 followers. Something went viral, and I was like, it's broken. This is broken. Like, this doesn't make any, I need to refresh the app. Like, I need to update the app. This doesn't make any sense. These numbers are crazy. But that is like just the power of TikTok. Hi guys, today it started off as raining and I went to go get my picture taken for my Iceland ID card. I had to take the bus because I don't have a car. Oh, and it was my first day of school. I'm learning Icelandic. It's so hard, and now my house has no heat, so I'm cold. I'm a content creator in Iceland, and also I inspire people and educate people on traveling in Iceland because I just have this crazy love for Iceland. I don't know why.
Where does that come from?
I just came as a tourist one time, like almost 4 years ago, I think, and I just fell in love with the country. Like, you know, everybody was coming to Iceland, so I wanted to go to Iceland. And I just loved every second of it. And when I went back to my job, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I just decided I wanted to live here and just go on adventures and road trips and live the life.
Adventures like this one.
Yeah, the car is gonna blow off the road.
What were you doing before you moved here?
I worked in sports. So I went to college, like university, and I studied sports management and business, and I worked in college athletics for like 5 years before I came to Iceland, and I loved it. I love sports and being active and like the people in that community, but I mean I still do love it, and I love this now too, and now this is my life, and being in Iceland and going for insane adventures. What is happening?
Exactly. So what were you doing mainly? What was your favorite sport? Like, what did you do?
So I worked in like the finance department, kind of for the athletic department. So I would handle budgets and finances, expenses, team travel, like recruiting, business trips, and everything like that for our teams and our coaches. And it's nothing at all that I do now. Nothing at all. Nothing is related whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
So what, like, when you moved here, did you know anyone? You didn't?
No, I didn't know anybody when I was here. I also like make a living now off of social media and photography and content creation, and I didn't even own a camera then, and I had no following on social media, like nothing.
So you didn't know anything about cameras or video creation?
No, no. And after I came home from my trip in Iceland, I was obsessed with Iceland, so I was just scrolling on Instagram, and this was like the rise of like travel influencers at the same time, and so I found all of these, you know, people traveling in Iceland and going for road trips, and they just like, it looked like they did it every single day, and something's like up with this.
Really? The drive mode?
Okay, here we go. Lane departure. This car is annoying. Okay, so yeah, I only saw Iceland through the like eyes of Instagram, which basically is just all travel photographers and things like that. So I thought that the only way to make it in Iceland was to be a photographer, because it's all I saw at the time, you know what I mean? Obviously that's not the case, but it's all I knew. So I was like, well, I guess I have to be a photographer. So I just like bought a cheap camera like off Craigslist, and I taught myself photography from YouTube, and I just binged like shows that would teach me about photography.
So for how long have you been doing this now?
It's been about 2.5 years. Yeah.
So you moved here pre-COVID?
Yes, I lived here a little bit before COVID, and I lived with a family because I didn't even know how to find an apartment. So I did like a program called Workaway, where I basically lived with a host family, and I just helped them out around the house. And yeah, I lived with, you know, it was like a mom and 2 kids. I actually met them the other night for dinner, so it was nice to catch up. But yeah, I didn't know what to do in Iceland, how to find an apartment, where to get furniture. It was a whole like new world for me.
What are we doing?
I don't know. You said we were going. I said we
Yeah,
shouldn't.
this is on me. This is on me.
I'm Kyana Sue Powers, and I'm a content creator that lives in Iceland, but I'm from the US, and I inspire people to come to Iceland and travel and just get outdoors, as well as just creating content for brands, professional photographer and videographer. Also do a lot of like social media stuff and TikTok, and that's really fun as well.
Who would you say that Kyana is, like, as a person, not as a whole brand?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I think like I'm just a kid who I'm not a kid anymore, but I think I'm a kid. I just like to go out and travel and have fun with my friends and like basically share experiences and memories with people. I'm not so much of a person who likes to go and do things alone. I definitely like being around other people and sharing experiences and making memories. Oh.
Cute. So, when you said you feel like you're a kid, what do you mean by that?
I'm always playing. I feel like, you know, when we're kids, we play outside on the playground, we make forts and we're just having fun and playing all the time. And sometimes when you grow up, you lose that sense of play. But you should never lose it, because that's like what makes life fun. And so you always just kind of have to remember to play and not take life so seriously in your job and your relationships and everything. Of course, you maybe need to be professional or responsible sometimes, but like, what is life if you're not having fun and just playing, like, and enjoying the moment?
Exactly. How would you say that the responsibility changed as you grew older?
Well, you know, I live on my own now, not with parents, so just the basic kind of things that you have to take care of as an adult. Life is changing and you have to make your own decisions and figure out, you know, where your life is going for you. There's no more school or grades or things that somebody has already laid out a path. So I guess growing up is just kind of finding your own path and finding something you love and then trying to keep doing it.
How is that? Because you started in sports and stuff like that. How is it going from that, like having learned all that and being in that work environment, going to Iceland, doing a completely different thing?
I mean, they don't like relate like logistically, but I think they're kind of the same for me personally, because I loved sports and had a passion for it and just so enjoyed those kinds of people and like working in that type of field. And then I just found another thing that I also love. I don't not love sports anymore, but I really love traveling and creating content, taking photos, making memories, and just like being outside and having like outdoor adventures. So I don't know, they're two different things, but they're both things that I love. So to me, it makes sense to be doing something that I still love to do.
Could you tell us a little bit about you as a kid? Like, how did you get to here?
Oh, I'm not sure how it all connects, but as a kid, I was a swimmer. Like, I could swim competitively since the age of 4. Crazy, and I loved swimming, and I even go to the swimming pool here for workouts sometimes when it's not freezing. But yeah, like you could always just find me in the pool and like riding my bike in the neighborhood and just like playing outside. I'd always like build forts. We have like where I lived woods, like the forest like behind your house, so it was really fun to make forts and be outside and just play games and, you know, go on the jungle gym and I don't know. I remember like spending a lot of time playing outside. And I mean, now I just do everything outside. So maybe somehow that connects. But I was just like spunky little kid, fresh, like always getting in trouble at school. Definitely the teachers always calling home to tell my parents that I've been sassy and distracting other people and too social in class when I should be paying attention, and maybe I should practice my reading more and slow down and think before I hand in my project or something. But yeah, like sitting in the classroom was never my strong suit. I think that shows now. Like I just kind of go out and do my thing and learn on the go. Yeah. I did all the things. I went to school, I went to college, I got a master's degree, I moved into my own apartment and I, worked professionally. I did all of the things. I just didn't continue doing all of the things. I didn't buy a house, get into a relationship, get a dog, have kids. I didn't do that. Not that I won't do that, but I didn't stick on that path. You're not supposed to move to another country on a whim that you're not even. It's really hard for Americans to move to Iceland. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't speak Icelandic, really. I definitely didn't when I moved here. I didn't know a single person, and I didn't even, know anything about the currency, or do you have a president or a queen or who? I don't know. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I wanted to travel in Iceland because it was super awesome and it looked really fun. That's all. And now I'm just on my own path kind of here, and just going my own way. I don't maybe need to go to school all over again and learn these things. There's other ways to learn these days, and I kind of find that more rewarding, and just that you learn more as well.
When you came here, what was that like? Like, what was your first experience?
Scary. It's really scary, like being an adult and also then moving to a new place, whether it's a new city or a new state or a new country. It's always scary. That's like just really out of your comfort zone, at least out of mine.
How old were you?
I was 26, I think.
Okay.
I just thought that I could conquer the world. I don't know. I thought it was no big deal to move to another country. I was naive and maybe blind to just, I don't know, adult responsibilities. But I made it work. If you think it's not going to work or that it's impossible, then it will be. So yeah, I just kind of keep going, and I'm all about this phrase, this, where it all works out. And I mean, there's definitely days I have doubts and think that it won't, or I'm afraid I'll be kicked out of the country or something, or that I'm just a complete failure and everything. But you just have to keep going, forget about that, remember the things that you love to do, and just keep doing those things.
What about like your personal life? What do you do?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to find like the line between like what is work and what is personal, because I love to travel and my work also gets me to travel. So sometimes it's definitely hard, but what I love to do is like plan a trip with friends, and like just go for a camping weekend and bring a bunch of drinks and good food and, pack the car with tent and stuff, and we're just kind of having a good time with no plan. You just go and travel, like, oh, like, should we go down this road? Yeah, let's just check it out, and like maybe we'll bring something to have a fire or make hot dogs or something. I think that's what I loved to do, just like being with friends and traveling. And of course, I'm totally a normal person as well. Like, I go out downtown, I go to restaurants, and I buy candles and furniture for my house, and I want to have a like cozy home, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely do all of the things normal people do, like go to the gym and go to concerts when it's not COVID. But yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty normal. Sports is kind of just huge in the US. Everyone, lots of kids at least, are playing multiple sports. I played softball and basketball. Growing up, swimming, track and field. I got really into cycling. I actually rode my bike across the US, like 4,000 miles in one summer, and I was 14. I forgot about that. It was really fun. I loved biking, and I did it with a group of kids same age as me, and it was a great time.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I did like some triathlons, half Ironmans, things like that. Yeah, in my high school, I was the captain of the swim team, the indoor track team, and the outdoor track team. And then in college, I was on the rowing team. I was on crew at a varsity 1 college.
Wow.
So I was huge into sports. Like, sports was a big part of my identity. I was, showed a lot of leadership and just bringing people together, and you're working hard to do something. I loved it so much.
But talking about growing on Instagram and on these platforms, how did you do that? How did you manage that?
I'm not sure. So I of course also always posted on social media after I moved to Iceland, just to kind of, I was a photographer now, so I needed to post on Instagram, so I thought, and I learned a lot about social media and took some online courses and things like that. And then Reels came out, and the algorithm no longer wanted posts of regular photos, and you could see it in the analytics. Mm-hmm. Your photos and posts weren't doing very well, and I was just sick of it. I was sick of my post not performing, so I was like, fine, Instagram, you want Reels, you got Reels. And I just made a Reel, and I decided that I was gonna make 1 Reel every single day for 1 month. And no matter what time it was at night, I was gonna make a Reel about my day. I decided that that's what I wanted to do. Real life in Iceland is my little thing now.
So where do you see this going, all this thing?
No, next question. I'm not sure. I definitely get asked a lot oh, are you are you permanently in Iceland? You think you're gonna stay? And I'm like, well, I am permanently in Iceland now. I live here. I've lived here for 2.5 years, and I love it, and I'm gonna be here for as long as it makes sense to me. It's a little bit scary for me to have a 5-year or 10-year plan, because I have no idea what could happen. And also sometimes I find for myself, if you have a longer term plan, you're working more towards it, instead of sometimes you never know where your life can take you. Just kind of living in the moment and seeing how each day goes, or each month, or what have you. But I'm definitely gonna stay in Iceland for as long as it makes sense for me to do that. And when it doesn't, it doesn't, and we'll just figure that out as it comes. But I love it here, so for now I'm here.
Þessi þáttur var tekin upp 2. mars, en 22 dögum seinna, þann 24. mars, fékk Kyana sent að umsókn hennar landvistarleyfi vegna vinnu væri hafnað, og hún þyrfti að yfirgefa landið innan 30 daga. Eins og stendur hún að reyna allt sem hún getur til þess að fá að vera áfram á Íslandi, og settir saman mynd sem við ætlum að enda þáttur með. Þetta Real Life in Iceland, Deported.
I'm Kyana Sue Powers, and I'm being deported from Iceland.
Ég sit hér með Kyana Sue Powers, áhrifavaldi á TikTok, sem hefur núna 19 daga til þess að koma sér úr landi eftir að henni var synjað landvistarleyfi. Welcome, Kyana.
Almost 3 years ago, I just came to Iceland as a tourist because it was a hot destination. I came with my cousin, we rented a camper van, and we drove around the entire ring road, and it was awesome. I ended up going back to my job in Boston. I worked in college athletics at the time, and I couldn't stop thinking about Iceland. It just started this fire within me. I was like, I need to be there. I actually ended up just asking the Icelandic embassy in the US, and I went into the office and just said, hey, I'm trying to move to Iceland. I just love the country so much, and it doesn't seem like there's an easy way. I must be missing something on the website. Tell me it's not so hard. And the lady just laughed at me, and she said, yeah, if you want to move to Iceland, you need to get married to an Icelander. So just no luck there, and I was, I don't know, just so obsessed with Iceland and wanting to move there. I thought maybe it'll just be easier if I'm physically there. So I did that. I quit my job, I sold everything I owned, and sold my apartment, and I just booked a one-way trip to Iceland. then later that day, they called me and they said, hey, so we just heard about this, Trump travel ban in Europe. So let's just see how that plays out and we'll give you a call next week. And it was March of 2020. I started making Instagram reels and TikToks because I was a photographer and they just popped off. Hi guys, Fimmvörðurárs trail is from Skogafoss to Thorsmark. And tell me you've been to Iceland without things in my Icelandic apartment that just make sense.
I first got to know about Kyana on reels.
I know Kyana from TikTok originally when I saw her there.
And I see the impact that she has. I mean, people literally visit Iceland because of her content.
I have this whole series called Real Life in Iceland, and yeah, it still is going strong to this day. I love it, and I think other people do as well.
And then the next thing I see, she's this massive influencer. I'm like, what's going on here? How has she just managed to do this?
And, people and companies started to come to me.
Kyana is one of our key content creators for TikTok.
Kyana, as a content creator, she's inspiring tens of thousands of people to come to Iceland.
And if she gets deported, it's not just bad for the Icelandic tourism industry, but also for companies like us that are relying on our expertise when it comes to digital media.
So yeah, it's amazing how many people Kyana has brought to our restaurant.
It's very important that people like Kyana stay in Iceland.
She has a great insight into what not only Iceland, but Reykjavik and just the culture here has to offer.
In a way, Kyana and me are both women in the world of men. Over this time that I've known Kyana, I've just seen how ambitious and hardworking she is.
Just in general, amazing person.
And in this time, I decided to make a business here in Iceland. So I did all of the paperwork, I handed it in, and then in early March, I got a letter from them saying that my visa was rejected. Just the process was denied, the decision was denied.
What would you do if you got kicked out of Iceland? If you got deported?
I don't know. I would have to start my life over or something, because I have a whole business here that's so rooted in Iceland, everything Iceland. And if I wasn't here, I wouldn't have that anymore. I would just lose everything I've built. I don't know what I would do. I mean, it's my home for starters. It's this crazy feeling when you get off the plane and walk out of Keflavik Airport and you start driving into the city and you feel like you're home. It's crazy to feel that way because I didn't grow up here. I don't have, young nostalgic memories from my childhood here, but yet I just feel like I'm home. And it's given me so much growth as a person, for adventures. It's changed me completely. Sorry. I don't know. It's hard to describe something you haven't felt yet. I don't know, if someone were, at the airport to say I could never come back, or give me a ban or something, I don't know. It would be the worst thing, probably,
that I could imagine to happen to me.
Kyana really
is outstanding.
If there was a person designed to live in this country, it would be Kyana.
Also, I think it's very funny that like we are supposed to be the Icelandic people, but you are always like teaching us new things about Iceland. And
yeah.
You know.
Thanks to her videos and Instagram stories.
You make me want to travel back to Iceland.
I don't think I could have moved to Iceland without the help of Kyana.
Kyana has inspired so many people to come and visit Iceland.
Iceland simply needs Kyana.
She has become a family member and kind of a staff member as well.
And even though we are hundreds of thousands of kilometers, miles away from Iceland,
she's inspiring thousands of people to come and visit Iceland.
And we need more people like her.
Yeah, she has to stay.
Her Instagram post made me book my trip to Iceland.
So I really relied on a lot of Kyana's content.
In my process of moving to Iceland,
we're really thankful for her.
And she is also, you know, skillful.
Just such a big inspiration for me.
An amazing role model.
She's a really knowledgeable content creator.
She's just so inspiring and positive.
Well, and I think it would be a very, very big loss to this country to lose Kyana.
So that's my story. And I know you're wondering what's next. Right now, I'm working on appealing the decision, and if you've ever been to Iceland, seen my content, or even been inspired by me, you can help. By sharing this video and signing the petition, you're making a difference. Because without you, I wouldn't be here in the first place. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for all of your support and for following me and my life in Iceland.